Hey Daniel, today we're getting married. I'm so excited to be married to you. It'll happen in probably 20 minutes or so. Um, I'm excited to see you and celebrate with everybody and just share our love with people and have a big old party and then go on a 2-month long trip. Sounds a lot of fun.
And why don't you recount the story you guys first meet?
Okay, well, I don't remember. Wait, am I talking to him as though
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
just like the camera.
Well, I don't actually remember meeting you. I was about probably 7 or so years ago. You were just kind of around. But I remember thinking that you were just really funny and silly and pretty cute. So that was cool. And then when I really met you, like started to know you more, that was when we were texting back and forth and started talking about some music. And I remember I texted you at like 11:30 p.m. one night because you had texted me earlier that day. And then I texted you, and then you like sent me this whole big long response like, "Oh my gosh, you're a night person!" Like, oh, it was so funny. I thought that was so funny because I was not expecting you to text that much back to me, but it was fun to like, hey, someone actually texted back at like 11:30 at night because most people just are asleep. So that was really fun.
And what are some of your favorite things about him?
Some of my favorite things about Daniel that I'm talking to him.
Well, I mean, you can just sort of rephrase all the questions. Like, some of my favorite things about Daniel are just that he's blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so I don't have to say you are this, you are that.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Okay. Well, I love that Daniel is a very detail-oriented person, very methodical, meticulous, which means he's very thoughtful and doesn't. He thinks through everything he does, and I really value that in someone. That someone's not just kind of doing whatever in life. You know that he's very intentional about his actions and has thought through them. I really love his silliness and a sense of humor and just going through life laughing and carefree, really happy and radiating joy and energy, just like loving things about life and getting really excited about life. That really lifts me up. And then just, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. And just like the way he cares about people and wanting to make sure he's not doing anything to offend someone and really thoughtful and considerate that way.
And then, what are you excited about for marriage in the short term, like upcoming weeks?
In the short term, I'm excited about our honeymoon because we're going to LA and then we're going to Las Vegas, then LA, then we're going to Hawaii for a month and a half. So that's pretty fun. So I'm excited for that.
And what are you excited about long term, like 10 years or something?
Long term, I'm just excited to live life every day with Daniel and to encounter more adventures along life, to travel and to get new jobs or to develop in our current jobs or positions or learning. I'm excited to learn more about the world and to just kind of do life together.
And then how are you feeling right now?
I'm pretty anxious that I'm going to pass out in front of people or have a freak out moment. So I really want to concentrate on you, Daniel, and be like, all right, this is my man. I'm going to say my vows. I'm going to do all these things. So I'm sorry if I'm like not in the moment. That is my intention, is to be present with you. But I'll probably just be like freaking out the whole time. So.
And then what's a lesson you feel like you've learned through your friendship with Daniel, like something that he's taught you?
Definitely that we don't have to be certain about our choices before making the choices, that we can still know to the best of our ability that this is a good choice and continue with making it. You don't have to have everything clear in your mind before going forward, and that has really helped me a lot in pursuing school, because I was kind of didn't know what I was doing, and so I decided to take a chance on this career path and see, how I like it, and that's a lot to do with Daniel, and just feeling like, all right, I can just try something and see how that works for me. So yeah, that's probably a big thing.
And then any last little thoughts or words to him?
Just that I love you, and I'm excited to be married, and I'm excited to live life together and just have fun all the time. So.
Hey Paige, today's the day. Today's the day we get married. It's been a long process, lots of planning, but it's now here. And after today, there won't be the planning, it'll just be the enjoying of life together. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited for the year and a half we've been together already, and excited for all the years we're going to be together in the future.
And why don't you recount the story you guys first meeting?
Okay.
Or
So
first hanging out. If you...
yeah. Paige and I met somewhere, who knows when, just way back in the day through Andrew and Alexis, because Paige was friends with Alexis, and then Alexis and Andrew, blah, blah, all that. So we'd crossed paths several times. I remember a few hangouts where we did like music upstairs at our parents' house, and that was when I was learning to dance at the Sugar Plum Fairy for like 2 months for Christmas. And just like could get through it kind of without making mistakes. And then Paige just sat down that night and just played through the whole thing better than I'd ever played it in my life. I was like, she's so good. So I remember that one. And then we had talked like at different where all you lived. So we crossed paths, but then it wasn't until after Andrew hosted a share a song. So we all bring a song, and we all listened to it and talked about why we liked it and so forth. And I shared a song that was like from the Coors, which Runaway was what it's called, and it was Irishy sounding. And so Paige texted me the next week and said, "Hey, I liked your song. Like, here's another song that reminded me of that. It was like really similar Irishy kind of sound." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so like I saw the text and was immediately like, I don't get texts from her. Maybe this is going somewhere. Trying to. I was like, okay, I'll see how it goes. Oh, okay. I'm doing good. So we played the song. Oh, another person coming. Are we good for?
Yeah, because I can cut audio and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she texted me that song, and I thought that was strange. I was like, Paige doesn't really text me. Like, okay, maybe there's something going here. I think I know the direction this is going. So we texted for like a week or so, and then so she kind of like initiated, but then I like made the first call for a date. So I was like, hey, like rather than talking on the text, like let's go on a date. And so we went on a date, and we talked for several hours on that date about all sorts of stuff. And I was like, wow, maybe there's a lot more to this girl than I thought. With our interest in books, our like spiritual journeys, our professional struggles, our traveling and our passions and hobbies and stuff. So many overlaps, and I was like, okay. And then I went on more and more dates with her, and over time, it just started kind of like, I'll go on a date, yeah, I'll see what it's like. And then the more dates we went on, the better it got, and I really, really enjoyed that. And so then that was why after short month and a half or so of like hanging out, I was like, let's make it official. So we made it official the day after Christmas, 2019, and then have dated ever since then. And it was been really great. I've really loved it. I've loved all the different adventures we've been on. So that's kind of how we started, and we will have more adventures to come, I'm sure.
And what are a few of your favorite things about her?
A few of my favorite things about Paige are that she is really interested in self development, which I think is hard enough for a single person to do themselves. But then when you join two people together, then if like one person is just kind of like not doing that quite as much, then it almost falls upon the other person to be the developer of this relationship to make it work. So the fact that Paige, I feel like I do a lot of try to do a lot of self-development, and Paige does the same thing. That gave me a lot of hope and optimism about the relationship, because any trouble or struggle that we hit, I felt like Paige is able to develop, like figure out what's happening and try to work a solution for herself. And I'm happy to be there to help. And so, it's like you can't lead a horse or you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Paige already has practice going to the water hole and drinking, and whatever, if that's a good analogy or not, I don't know. But she has demonstrated a history of development and pushing herself, and that gave me a lot of hope that in the future we can tackle kind of any challenge together, and make it through it together as a couple.
And how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm like the teensiest bit nervous, which only happens here and there in my life. I'm mostly even keel. I don't get super nervous at stuff. So it's been a few years since I've been a little nervous. So I was feeling that a little this morning. I kind of had to go ahead and get out of bed because I wasn't really sleeping after my alarm went off. And I tried to snooze again. I was like, I'm not even gonna snooze because I was just thinking of all the stuff and a little nervous. I'm like, oh gosh, it's all happening today. I'm so excited. So a little bit of nervousness, but mostly excitement. And that's been how all this week has been. There's a lot of stuff to do, so I've stayed busy. But whenever the busyness kind of lulled, I was like, we're getting married on Saturday. Yay. So that's continued. It's just kind of amped up a little bit for today.
And what's something you're excited about for marriage in the short term, like upcoming weeks?
In the short term, I'm kind of excited about just merging our lives together and seeing how that works. So sleeping together and living in the same place and not having to say bye to each other every night, and cooking all our stuff together, which we've done some cooking in the past, but now it'll take it to a new level. So as far as a relationship, that's good short-term stuff. But in the really short term, I'm super excited about the honeymoon. Going to travel around with her, doing a road trip, because I remember last summer we went on that road trip up to Minnesota, and it was just one of my favorite vacations I've ever taken. And it was beautiful places to go, so many interesting things, and then Paige was just the best travel buddy. So many good conversations. She's so up for adventure, so flexible for doing random things. So I have that precedent set for the next few weeks, few months on our next trip, on our honeymoon. So I'm just really excited in the short term about having a bunch of adventures with Paige right off the bat. So those are a few things I'm excited for.
You might just check on their status.
Oh, sad.
And then what are you excited about for long term, 10, 15 years?
I guess in the long term, I'm just excited to have that depth of understanding of each other. Because I feel like we're doing pretty good. We've had conversations about all these things, all these major points. We did the marriage counseling, which was great. We've did our own marriage counseling basically by reading different books and having discussions about it and talking about kids and talking about families and talking about social issues and all this stuff. So it already feels like, I've got a good depth of Paige, but I'm like, this has only been a year and a half. Imagine 10 years from now. So I'm really excited to continue that and see how deep we can go with each other, and how well we can understand each other. So that's kind of long term one of the things I'm really looking forward to working on and developing.
And then what's a lesson you feel like you've learned through your friendship with her, like something she's taught you?
Let's see. I think Paige has taught me like to have more empathy and understanding for other people. Because I've had some close relationships in the past with people that are very different personality types from me, with a different background and upbringing, different way of viewing the world. But I've never had anybody as close as Paige to talk it over. So like, even though we're super similar on so many accounts, there's still a few differences that I'm like, I don't really understand. And so it's kind of intriguing to try to figure it out. But it's also like just reminding myself, like, okay, the way I view the world is not the only way to view the world. And some of the things I say and do aren't maybe the things that are going to really resonate with other people that think very differently than me. And so I've kind of learned that with Paige on the few things that have happened over time, where it's just like, okay, maybe I said something that I did not think of at all, but it hit Paige really hard. So it's like knowing that and learning that lesson that like, okay, I need to really try to understand another person like Paige so that I can better be a better human to them and have a better relationship with them. So that's a big thing that I've learned from being around Paige.
And any final little thoughts or words to her?
I love you, and I am really excited about the short term, the midterm, the long term of our relationship. I am really just, I think I'm going to develop as a better person because of knowing you. I'm really happy to help you develop as a person, help build each other up and help each other grow as a couple and as individuals, help each other pursue our dreams. So I'm just really looking forward to that. Both for my benefit of becoming a better person, but also just to help you do the same thing, and to see what we can do as individuals and what we can do together as a couple. And yeah, I'm just really excited for that, really looking forward to it. So I love you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
Hey, Daniel and Paige. This is a wedding interview. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to figure it out as I go along, kind of like the speech that I'm going to give here in a little bit in front of all these people. Hey, you guys both know that you're always going to have a very special place in my heart. Daniel, you have been as much of a brother to me growing up as anybody, and that's always meant a lot. So I know that without fail, if I pick up the phone and call you, I'm going to get a call back even if you don't pick up. And that's always been, it's always been very special. And not everybody does that. And not every relationship that I have can I pick up the phone and just pick up right where we left off. And I've always appreciated that about you. And we have far more stories and things that we could reminisce on than could be contained into a 2-hour-long video or a 3-hour-long video, and I think that that's awesome too. And I love you for that, because just like you said in your speech at your wedding today, you talked about how the people around you have shaped you, and you have shaped me just as much as I hope to have given to you thus far in our life, and I am very grateful for the ways that you have pushed me and challenged me as a person, challenged my thinking. There's been so many times where I have refused to want to think about something, but you have added you've added the intellect. I don't want to think of myself as a stupid person, but there's definitely been some times that I've felt like I definitely would rather take the stupid person route than the intellectual route. And you have helped me to process through my own emotions, through why I believe things that I do. And I know that those conversations will continue long into our adulthood, and I think that that's really awesome. And Paige, Daniel, I could say plenty more, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to go to Paige because Andrew was talking about how some people drown on and on and on and on, and I don't want to be standing here for like 3 hours talking to the camera. So, Paige, I don't know a whole lot about you. That's a honest, blatant statement, right? I mean, you guys started dating right in the middle of this global pandemic that we had, and that was really unfortunate for the friendship side of things and trying to help figure out how to navigate that. And I don't claim to think that I did that 100% correctly. And I think that you guys, as you get married, will learn to navigate the world in your own way, and nobody can fault you for how you choose to navigate the world. And I think that's great, and that's what makes people people. But I do regret not having more information on who you are and how you are and what you are before marrying my boy. But that doesn't make me any less confident that you are wonderful for him. And that's it's really cool. It's awesome to watch you guys banter back and forth and see how you've interacted with each other. And really listening to your vows was just incredible and really beautiful. And I was so thankful to be able to hear a piece of your heart come through in how you think of Daniel. Because whether it makes sense or not, like I really do look at Daniel as a brother, and so like I know I can relate to the things that you said. I felt those words, and so it was really cool to hear you talk about Daniel, who I love so much, in that way. And so I'm really excited for you guys to take this step together, and I know that we're going to be able to build a really great lifelong friendship together, and I hope that that really is very true, and we don't ever have to forget that part of being together and walking together through this life. And the biggest challenge that I could offer both of you is to continue to pursue each other no matter what. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer person about marriage, because I love my marriage. I love my life. I'm so excited about the direction that God has set my life on and the life that I'm walking with my family. But there's just inevitably pieces of marriage that are difficult to deal with. And I think that's less about marriage and more about life. And you just have to face those things. And as you face them together, don't forget why you're married. And that there's a greater reason than just the fact that you like being around each other. And pursue that. Pursue the difficultness of marriage and grow your relationship deeper together, and allow your hearts to be cultivated in a way that is not reflective of just the nature of who you are as people individually, but like by the purpose that you have set out on this marriage journey together. I don't even know if that made sense, but I think that you're just going to continue to figure out all these different little things and idiosyncrasies about each other, and love those things. And the things that you're like really annoyed by, you're still going to be like, you're still going to come to love those things because it's who you are as people. And just continue to foster that and chase after it. And then don't be afraid to ask for help and have real conversations. Paige, find somebody that you can talk about marriage in a very real, raw way to. And Daniel, you know that you will always have me and Tyler to confide in and talk to about life and marriage and how to go about things and how to face the things that you're facing. And I know that from personal experience, like those deep, meaningful relationships that I've had haven't stopped in my marriage. And I continue to run back to those people like you and like Tyler to navigate the great and the hard about marriage and really digest life together, don't be afraid to do that, because that's what's going to help make all the difference as you continue to choose joy and choose each other. So I love you guys, and I'm really thankful to have been a part of your story, and I am really grateful for the opportunity to continue to be a part of your story as we go through this life together. So I love you guys. Tonight's been awesome.
Daniel, I'm gonna try not to cry on camera. Even, I mean, I'll cry in person too. But just thinking back over our time together, it makes me wish I got to spend more time with you these past 12 years after we graduated high school. I'm thankful the Lord put you in my life, and likewise me in your life. We moved around a lot, and when I was a kid, and I was grateful to come back home to be close to my grandparents and my family, and I was glad to have you as a classmate that one year in elementary school. Don't really remember that year too much, but I do remember when my mom met my stepdad, and they were getting married, and I moved to the neighborhood, and just friendships, I think, during the time of middle school and even elementary were just kind of stagnant, not really there, not really, it was hard to make connections, especially with us living in Farmington. So I was as much involved as I could be with a single mom and a little brother. But we did what we could. But I was thankful just to be able to move, finally get a house in Springdale, and thank the Lord it was Harbor Meadows. So I'm thankful that all those years I had two of the best friends I could have ever asked for. I'm just thankful for that. I could always count on you to be there, to hear me, hear what kind of crap I was getting involved in, or just whatever was coming out my mouth or coming into my mind. And you encouraged me, and we shared similar passions about Star Wars and just different stuff like that. I remember we just talked about different books and when we could, and when I was wanting to read them, I guess. I don't know. I was thankful that I could always count on you and Braden to both take me on an adventure, whatever it was, whether it be your mom and dad's house or Braden's house, or just out and about and climbing a tree, or hanging out at cell group together. I would never have been there if it wouldn't have been for you and Braden. So, I truly believe the Lord worked through that to keep me in the faith, to keep me in line. I think I probably would have easily gone down a really dark path if it were not for you and Braden being there by my side to guard me, to protect me, and to keep me. And so my hope is I was able to do the same in some form or fashion for you. But I always admire just who you are as a person, the work that you give to the things that you love. And that's encouraging to me, thinking about Paige, thinking about your wife, the most important person in your life, the most important work in your life. I know with the utmost confidence that you're going to love her so well because you love me well. So I love that even when I couldn't keep you in the loop of the things that we were doing, whether it be after marriage and moving down to Little Rock, you always kept me in the loop of all your biggest decisions. And I just pray we do that more. I want to try harder and do better about staying in touch, and I'm just thankful that you found a wonderful life, a wife that loves you as much as I do, and that sees all the great things about you that we've been seeing for a long time. And so I love you, Daniel. I love you so much. I look forward to just you getting to interact with my daughter and my son and my future kids. And I look forward to doing the same with yours as well. So, Paige, I want to get to know you better as well. But it's, as I believe that, the husband and the wife become one flesh. I truly believe that you are as much like Daniel is as much like you. And so there's kind of a oneness and a sameness in a lot of what you guys will be doing together, what you guys will be agreeing upon, what you guys will be, deciding to do in the future. And so I just, I love that you love one of the greatest, if not, one of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life. So thank you, Paige, for marrying my best friend. And I wish you guys a wonderful honeymoon together, a wonderful first year of marriage together. I pray that, that life doesn't throw you too many punches that first year, because that can suck. But you guys will take it on and knock it out of the park. You guys are going to do a great job. And I'm just confident in your marriage, confident in who both of you are. And I look forward to seeing where we're going to be over the next several decades. So 6 decades, maybe 5 decades. I don't know how much longer I have, so we'll see. But I love you, bro. Love you, Paige.
I was trying to think about what I wanted to say because I'm a person of words. And I think the thing that when I think about you guys the most, I think about how grateful I am and the color and joy that you bring to my life and that you bring to each other's lives. Almost in a way of like complementary colors bring out the brightness in one another. You guys bring out the brightness in each other. And I think especially when you have a friend that is so bright in so many ways, it's sometimes intimidating or scary to think about, will you find someone that is as bright and special and colorful as you are? And with Paige and Daniel, color and complementarity of color has been kind of the force that has brought you all together. And I'm really honored to have gotten to stand up there with you all and celebrate this new stage of your life. And I hope it's as full of adventures as the last couple of chapters of your life have been. And I've rarely had such a loyal friend as Daniel to come visit me wherever I lived and go on any adventure. He jumps in with 2 feet. And what I love about Paige is that she jumps in too and makes the whole experience even more joyful and beautiful. So very excited for your life to come and happy to be a part of it. God bless you guys. Bye.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Go, Ted.
Daniel, Daniel and Paige, I'll echo kind of what I had said last night at the rehearsal dinner. I just value both of you so much. I feel like I can speak more to Daniel just because I have a length and breadth of relationship that's longer than with Paige. I'm excited for that to change and for those to even out, because my experience with Paige has been nothing but fun and interesting and insightful. And so I'm excited to get the honor of being one of Paige's roommates, something that is a pretty short list. And so I'm excited about that. But at least for Daniel, Daniel, you've been a solid, consistent friend. I think something that you and I have talked about a lot is just the fact that in life it is easy to have relationships that are there and they exist, but they're not deep, and there is no
Floaters, man.
There is no breadth to them, and so that is something that that I feel like our relationship with you has not been shallow. We have, we've shared a lot of time together. We've shared a lot of miles in car trips and mission trips, and a lot of time just getting to talk about different things, and to get to walk through kind of your faith journey and kind of how that impacted us and how that hit us, and the good parts about it and the bad parts about it and the things that were hard, and the fact that you are the kind of person that is not just there for what is easy. You're not there for only the fun things. You are there and you're committed to relationship, and you're committed to kind of walking through that together and being challenged. I think a lot of it echoes what Paige was saying in her vows, just that you are there and you are consistent and you want what's best. And that's something I just so appreciate about you, and that extends to Paige, because I know that that's like part of why you two are together and why you two are interested and connected to each other. So that's a scratching of the surface of what I appreciate about you, Daniel, and since you two are one now, both of you, and I'll let Chandler say a little bit more.
Okay, I'm a couple drinks in, so I'm sorry. I didn't know this was happening, but I feel like a lot of men don't earn my respect, especially over time. And Daniel, when we first met in 2013, almost a decade ago, it's not that you had my respect then, but it was definitely you're a logical, efficient engineering student on this Belize trip with me. You like piano. That's very interesting. And it's been so cool to see how we've spiraled around each other's stories and come in, and I feel like more than anything, you're just the big brother I didn't have in a lot of ways. And in that way, you've graded against me a lot, but you've been better than a big brother, because the actual things that we have friction about, you'll go actually and research and come back better the next time. And you notice when I come back better the next time and call that out. And I need that in my life a lot. People who notice that I do that, and you are also someone who does that. And so I'm nothing but proud and impressed and almost speechless, especially since Paige came in the picture, of how quickly you've, I don't know, accepted the feminine in your life and just made room for it. Of I don't know, so I'm going to let Paige and the feminine around me tell me. And I've really admired that. And yeah, I mean, I love Paige. Paige, my girl. I can't wait to get to know her better. And it's almost skipping the friend and just, all right, sister, now what do we do kind of thing. How do we live together? So thanks for bringing a really good one into the tribe. It means a lot and will pay off over time. And yeah, we're all lucky that you found Paige. So that's my thoughts.
We love you guys. We're so excited that you guys are starting this journey. We're honored to be at least in the next chapter, and we look forward to all the things that is in your future, and any piece that we get to play in that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, that's all for us.
So I don't have a speech prepared. I loved your wedding. I've been a part of a handful of weddings, and that was the most personalized wedding that I've seen. I cried. I tried to pretend like it was a little bit of sweat. It wasn't. You can probably watch the video. It wasn't sweat. I was crying. You've always been an interesting character to me. When we first moved in, we never talked about anything. I was doing my own thing. We can talk about that. You can pause and tell Paige about all that. But after being where we're at now, I really appreciate you. You're, especially during the last season of Corona, everything that's happened, you've been a very good person to talk to the whole way. We might have butted heads on things, but to me, it was very important that you met me and saw me where I'm at, and I didn't expect that from you. So you always blow me away.
I'll say, yeah, I'm gonna be here for you. Yeah, I'll bend over backwards for you because you're a really good guy, and you're probably on a higher level than I thought you would be. Like I'm bummed out that I missed out on the first probably year or so of hanging out, and I'm glad that all that went away and that you will invite your wife places where I'll be and where we get to hang out. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I really do love you. Not crying, just coming up. But I really do love you, and Paige is amazing. I really do love you, man. This will be fun, and I wish I could say more nice things. I don't know. I feel like I'm on the spot, and I hope this reaches you well, and I hope maybe one day this will be nice to look back on. So thank you for letting me be a part of your life. You're more important than I normally thought I would think. You're very important to me, and so is your wife now. So, love you, man.
Paige and Daniel. Let's all start talking to Paige first. Paige, I don't know you very well. Maybe by the time you're watching this, we will have had many adventures together, and I think that'll be really cool. You obviously, I heard in your vows talk about how adventurous Daniel is and how that was one of the things that you love about him. And I was so glad to hear you say that. Pretty much ever since I've known Daniel, he's been on an adventure, taking me on an adventure. We've been just like doing things like from, working at NASA to going over to Italy to do things to, secondhand smorgasbord. Oh, I maybe should wait for that to go. Yeah. Let the sound for that go.
As soon as I started the interview, this guy started mowing too, or whatever is going on over there.
That's always the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, every day, life with Daniel will be an adventure for you, and I'm so glad just that, and excited that you are excited for it and gonna embrace it. And Daniel, for you, I'm gonna just say that married life is an adventure, and I know you and Paige have a lot of stuff in common, and I think that's really awesome. And I'm excited as you guys find out how you're different and how you sort of lean into these differences and grow each other, because that's where the rubber really hits the road and where the adventure really begins. So, anything else to say? No? Excited to see you guys and get to know you better and host you and stuff. Yeah. Hopefully nobody's been eaten by sharks by the time you get back. So, yeah, cool.
Hey, congratulations. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm really excited that you all found each other. And Daniel, when you started seeing Paige, like everything about her was just brighter and better. She laughed more. So I just want to thank you because I owe you for taking care of her when me and Brittany were not able to spend as much time together when we got older. But I'm so happy that you're part of our family now. You definitely make our family better. Jesse has a friend to make fun of now, and we just are really happy for you two, and I can't wait to see how your future goes.
Paige and Daniel, I love you both so much, and I wanted to share a little story of a little hint that I knew of that you guys were perfect for one another. So one of the things I love the most about you, Paige, is our whole lives you have been so confident and unapologetically yourself. And sometimes I've been jealous about that because you just own who you are. And one of the things that I love is your dance moves. So when you dance like no one in the room is watching. And we went to this choir dance when I was in 9th grade and you were in 7th grade. And you were like dancing up a storm, and there were some people making comments about it, and I had to go shut them down quick. And I remembered that when at Jackie's wedding, you and Daniel were dancing like no one was watching together. And I kind of had this revelation in my mind that you guys really are a perfect match. So I'm so happy for you guys and excited for you guys to start your lives together.
Hi, Daniel and Paige. I'm really excited for you. I've been somewhat not joking about setting you guys up for years. And then when I gave up is when you all got together. So I don't know if I can say that was a successful wishing, joking, trying to make secretly happen or not, but here we are. And I'm really thankful for both of you because you have both enriched my life in your own separate ways, both individually and then now together as a couple. You make my life better, and I enjoy being around you guys a lot. You're so full of life and ready to jump on an adventure and help someone in need. I really love that you're just always there for your family and always there for your friends. I appreciate you, Daniel, for your outgoing personality and making people feel comfortable, and for always grounding us back to factfulness. Even the encouragement to read that book, Factfulness, has been impactful for me, and I'm thankful for that impact that you have on everyone around you. And then Paige, I think really one of the biggest things that stands out to me about you and the impact that you have on me and others around you is your lack of judgment on people and just always accepting people for exactly how they are and never trying to change people or push your own opinions. You just always sincerely care for them and want to hear them out. So I'm really excited for our lives together because we're not just friends, we're actually family. So we will be together in all the life events for all the years to come. So best wishes to you all.
Okay, I feel like I'm really bad at these things, but I feel really honored to be in your lives, both of you. I don't know Daniel as well as Paige, of course, but I am just so impressed by your relationship with each other and how much you bring out the good qualities. I'm really excited for your future, and I'm excited to still be in your lives after this. So I'm a little sad that you're moving to, is it Rogers? It's gonna be a little farther away. Anyway, love you guys.
Hey, Paige and Daniel. It's crazy to think that my little Paige is now married. Paige has always been like a sister to me. We've just always had that connection. And Daniel, I'm sure that you will end up being like a brother to me. And you better treat her right because Paige is a special woman and I will come get you if you don't. But honestly, I am hoping you guys have many, many wonderful years of marriage and bliss. I can't wait to come back each time we come to visit to see what adventures you guys have gone on. Paige has always talked about all the things she wants to do, and she's always just wanted to travel. So I think it's great that that's the thing you both have in common, to be able to go travel and see the world together. It's always nice to have a partner who has the same wants and desires in life that you have. And I think it's truly amazing that you both have found that in each other. I also love seeing what you guys bring out in each other, the love, the joy, and I can't wait to see where life will take you both. I can't wait to see if you have children down the road, and I'm just really happy for both of you. Congratulations on your big day, and just enjoy your honeymoon, which, I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't? Bye, love you guys.
What a weekend. Daniel, I couldn't have asked for a better brother, other than one who's behind the camera filming, equally good. As many people have mentioned throughout the rehearsal dinner and the night, you're freaking weird, but in the best way. And Paige, you're equally weird, and that's what makes it so great, that you guys are great together. and I couldn't ask for a better sister-in-law, other than the one who's also married to the man behind the camera. So I can't wait for the lifetime you guys spend together, and hopefully I'll get to share it a little bit more, and me potentially coming back to the area sometime eventually. But you guys are great, and I wish you the best, because you guys are the best. Good night.
Daniel and Paige. Hey, it's me, your sister. Well, so I guess to start, growing up with you, Daniel, you'd think I would have a lot of dirt on you, but you know, I think growing up, I just remember you were always a very pleasant, happy person. So I'd come out of my room in the morning just super moody, and then you were just whistling and singing and just so happy, and nothing could, you know, you weren't bothered by anything. So I always appreciated that about you. And so, yeah, I appreciate you being a good brother, and I think as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate the relationship that we have and the friendship that we have, and I really like a lot of things about you. I like that you're a very thoughtful person, and very, very planned out and very organized, and have some interesting hobbies, and so yeah, I'm very grateful that you are my brother. And then Paige, I knew you before I knew you were going to be my sister-in-law, but of course I always knew you were an incredible pianist, and so I admire that about you. And then once I started seeing you and Daniel together, it just made sense. You guys play off of each other really well, and I can tell that you both really love each other. And so I haven't seen, I really don't think Daniel dated much growing up that I was aware of, at least, and so I think it's really cool to see him be so happy and be genuinely in love with you. And so yeah, I'm excited for the two of you, and I'm excited to welcome you into the family. And we are a crazy bunch, but I think you will fit in just perfectly, and so I'm happy to be a part of this weekend and wish you all the best.
I was about to pack this up, then I realized I'm supposed to share something too. But this has been a really, really meaningful wedding on a number of levels. Obviously, knowing you guys, but this is really one of the more meaningful, I would say the most meaningful wedding I can remember that I've done, more because of the events surrounding it than even just being related to you guys, but just the interviews and what people have shared and what they've shared about you guys is abnormal, just how much people have been impacted and care for you and been impacted by you. And so that's been very special to see just how powerful of a life you guys have shared. And so I'm always thankful for that you've been part of my family, Daniel and Paige, that you've been a part of my life for so long. And I feel like there was something I had thought of that I forgot to say last night that may or may not come to me. I know I'd appreciate Daniel talking about, we should do this more often, like just say what we're thinking. And because I thought, man, I really want to share some of the stuff I appreciate about Daniel before the wedding, because you don't want to just be like forced into an event where you're like, oh, I'm supposed to say something. Like, I want to get into a habit of vocalizing those things without needing to be forced. And so hopefully by the time y'all see this and watch this again on your first anniversary, your 5th anniversary, or 10th anniversary, I'll have gotten better at vocalizing just appreciation, because I do appreciate you guys, and have been very glad to be here today, and been choked up several times, and it's always special just kind of seeing these really intimate moments, and thankful I got to be a part and capture it all. So have a great life, I'll still see you tomorrow and the next day and all the time, but I look forward to being a part of y'all's lives.